Match day 2 in the AFC Champions League Two, as PFC Andijon from Uzbekistan go up against Qatar's Ahli Sports Club. Both sides drew their opening games 0-0 against Arkadag and Al Khaldia respectively. Extra incentive for both teams to get their first wins in the competition tonight. It's all square in the group. None of the four teams have managed to find the net as yet. Both these sides are making their debuts in AFC competition and will be keen to do well and impress the neutrals and their own fans, of course, on a continental stage. Pleasantly cool, 23 degrees, 38% the humidity. We are in Andijon, which is a couple of hours away from the capital, Tashkent. The stadium holds around about 18,500. Proper old school stadium. Those are the home fans who are enjoying their first taste of AFC football, as are Al Ahli, one of the oldest clubs in Qatar. It's maybe a little bit of a surprise they haven't had more success than they actually have in terms of winning trophies and getting into AFC competition. But this will be a good test tonight, the first home game in the AFC Champions League Two for the side from Uzbekistan. And both these sides taking the competition seriously, not too many changes. You often see in the continental competitions with the extra foreigners allowed that teams make multiple changes, but both these sides sticking with pretty much the same basis of the teams that they had in their last league games. 6 games in the group stage, of course, 4 teams in each group. Uzbekistan football very much on the map at the moment, having qualified for the 2026 World Cup finals in the USA, Canada and Mexico for the first time. Qatar, of course, will be hoping they can qualify. They play in the final round of matches in just a couple of weeks' time. Matches in Qatar and Saudi Arabia to decide the final 2 AFC places that will travel to the World Cup next year. Of course, off the back of Qatar hosting the last World Cup in 2022. Uzbekistan have hosted under-17s, under-23 tournaments, and most recently the FIFA Futsal World Cup last year. It really is an upcoming nation in terms of continental football and Asian football. As we're in Central Asia, this is part of the West section. The AFC divided into East and West for the purposes of continental competition. As the rain comes down, which will add an extra dimension to proceedings tonight. Who will it be that's coming out on top? The giant tifo being hauled aloft in front of those ultras. Trying to create an intimidating atmosphere for the side from Qatar. So much anticipation around these sides' first matches in the competition a couple of weeks ago, but it was a little bit of an anti-climax with those 2 goalless draws. This new look started last season to AFC competition, Champions League Elite, Champions League Two and the AFC Challenge League.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the teams. PFC Andijon and
because of the coefficient, these sides finding themselves in Champions League Two. It really has levelled the playing field, really. Some of the lesser nations who were playing in the Champions League finding themselves getting beaten heavily on a match day, and now playing teams that are around their own coefficient. That is the plan and the thinking behind this. PFC flag precedes the arrival of the two teams. It is a well-rehearsed format that unifies the arrival of the teams across Asia. And of course it was winners from the West that lifted the trophy last year. Sharjah beating Singapore's Lion City Sailors in the final by 2-1. Who will it be this year that's tasting glory next May? It's an extra dimension to a long league season, of course. The Uzbekistan League is not too far away from its conclusion this year. It is one of the leagues that still plays within the calendar year. The Qatar Stars League has only just begun, just 6 games played for Ahli so far. Neither side have really impressed in the league this season, both are below mid-table. It'll be interesting to see which side turns up here over the next 90 minutes in a very wet Uzbekistan. We're at the Babur Stadium. Those fans, well, there's no roof on the stadium, so they're going to get as wet as the players tonight watching the match. Referees from Australia tonight. Daniel Elder. It's a scary looking character on that tifo for Andijon. Let's take a look at the teams. Andijon make just one change from their last league lineup against OKMK. Shadod Azmidanov comes in to replace Abu Bakir Asharov, who drops down to the bench tonight. Said Nuruliev and Akinde will be the two front men tonight. So Daniel Elder is the referee. His last match was an AFC Under-23 Asian qualifier between Lebanon and Mongolia last month. Temirov and Marwan, the Al-Ahli goalkeeper, are the two captains. A couple of Australian officials as the assistants tonight as well. Well, the Al-Ahli side shows 4 changes to the side that beat Al Shinania at the weekend. Goalkeeper Marwan comes in. Yasune, Eric Exposito and Dumbaya all come into the starting lineup tonight. Michel Vlap has scored 3 times in the Qatar Stars League. Plenty of options on the bench tonight for those coaches if they want to switch things around as the game wears on. Really good atmosphere here now. Took a little bit of a while to fill up tonight, as you can imagine, with the weather not being great here. But they won't let their spirits be dampened tonight, those home supporters. Try and make this atmosphere as difficult for the Qataris to settle into tonight. So Marwan is the man that's come back into the starting lineup tonight. Hasn't played in the league yet this season. Did play 90 minutes of the opening match. It is a good opportunity sometimes for coaches to rotate their goalkeepers and give some of the goalkeepers who normally warm the bench a chance to start in the continental competition. Andijon in the red. And we're underway on match day 2 of the AFC Champions League 2. Al-Ahli all in white, change strip for them tonight. They usually play all in green. They'll kick from right to left in the first half. So both these sides come into the game on the back of wins in their respective leagues at the weekend. Andijon beat OKMK just by a single goal in the league. It was their first win in 6 matches. And a win for Ahli of Al-Shania by 2-1. Much needed win for them as well, having struggled to really get going at the start of the season. Just 2 wins in their opening 6 matches for Igor Bishkan's side. There's 2 very famous coaches tonight, if you know your football. Maxim Shatsky, who was a major European or major international for Uzbekistan in his playing days, and Igor Bishkan, who spent a big chunk of his career at Liverpool. There is Maxim Shatsky, who left Paktakor, one of the big teams in Uzbekistan, to come here and try and turn their fortunes around. 61 times he played international football for Uzbekistan, scored more than a goal every 2 games. What better man to have at the helm? Having joined partway through the season, they had a wretched run at the start of the campaign. So straight away urging his players to press, and here's an early opportunity for them to press forward with Abdulmanapov. Well, that's speculative from that sort of range, midway inside the Ahli half from the captain Temirov. Played as a striker in his playing days, 97 goals in 215 appearances for Dynamo Kiev. Only joined in May, so he's still finding his feet in the league. Alexander Komyukov was the man who left after 5 successive defeats. Igor Bishkan, who took charge towards the end of last season. Foul there on Ganan, but not given. Well, you know Uzbekistan are going to be tough tackling, you know they're going to be strong opponents. 2 contrasting styles of football. Qatar's style is to play the ball around. Suhaib Ganan, who was fouled there, has played in every league game so far this season. Akinade falls back onto defensive duty. Wait for the whistle is the instruction from Daniel Elder. Fatui is over the free kick. This could be the first real test for Tokoteyev, the Andijon goalkeeper. See straight away 3 Ahli players standing in an offside position. They will surely move back before the free kick's taken. I'm sure this is something they've practiced in training. Wag of the finger from Vlap. Now they are back onside. Ball's whipped in with a bit of pace, good defending. Vlap headed forward by Dumboya. Oh, he's won it back here, Dumboya. Vlap, lovely ball. Nice running into the penalty area as well. Back to Yansane. But it goes out off the striker for a throw to Andijan. The Frenchman, Sekou Yansane. So 10th in the table, PFC Andijon after a poor season. 16 teams in the Uzbekistan League. Qualified for this competition by winning the 2024 Uzbekistan Cup for the first time. It's been a big couple of seasons for them. A little bit overzealous there, Diallo trying to win that ball back. Qatar do get good representation because of their coefficient. Ahli finished fourth in the Qatar Stars League last season, but still qualified for this competition. Chested off by Mitrovic. Experienced defender at the back, Mitrovic. And you have foreign centre-backs, Ahli, Matej Mitrovic from Croatia and Robin Tihi from Finland. Snapped off by Temirov, maybe a free kick. It's a little bit niggly, a little bit clumsy in the opening stages. Both sides will just take a little bit of time to settle. So the conditions just making things a little bit slippery as well. There's Novak. Kadmidyanov. Bullet behind here for Akinde. Inside a corner. Good long ball over the top. It was a lovely little flick from Said Nuraliyev. Good defending though. Akinade, just 1 goal in 7 appearances in the league. Corner whipped in with a bit of pace from Temirov. There's a bit of a stooping header there from Akinade. He came off him. It possibly wasn't the best decision to go with his head. Real pace on that corner from the captain when it came in. Not too sure that didn't come off the knee of Tihi actually. The referee said it came off Akinade last, so it did go for a goal kick. Didn't get their season off to the best start. They lost their first 3 league games by the same 2-0 scoreline. Drew in the Qatar Stars Cup 0-0. Actually went 4 games without a goal before putting 5 past Al Wacker, and it was that win that just really helped them get their season started. First win in 4 at the weekends with that win over Al Shania. There's Azmidanov, who come into the starting lineup tonight. Another player that's been used sparingly in the league, just 4 games in the league for Shahzad Azmidanov. Another player that played in the opening game. There's another foul. And it's going to be the game's first yellow card here. It's Halal that's gone down injured, and Abdulmanapov has gone into the book for the challenge. Not what you want to get booked so early on in a game that he's going to be competitive. Just slipped a little bit at Al Hilal. It was a nasty challenge. It was mistimed by Donian Abdulmanapov. First yellow card of the game. He's been one of the more regular players in the league this season, Abdulmanapov, who actually started his career here before moving on, joined from Paktakor in January. Back to the club, he came through the youth system. Dumboya. Straight through to Tokatayev in goal. That's Hilal, who was the man that was fouled a moment or so ago, and Temirov, the captain, saying, well, shouldn't he be booked for the challenge the same as you just booked Abdurmanapov? It is Abdurmanapov, the man that's been on the end of that challenge. He's saying the same. Shouldn't that be a yellow card? Taking his own retribution there, Hilal, and he's a little bit fortunate to get away with that. No attempt to play the ball. It was a high challenge. Good shot, good save, Marwan. Toyrov. Cleverly firing from distance, knowing that the ball's going to skid and be a little bit slippery for the goalkeeper. Didn't think twice about it, struck it well, never left the ground, and Marwan fortunately had his body right behind it. Gathered it at the second attempt. Let's hope the game just opens up and we get plenty of chances tonight. Confirmation of that yellow card for Abdurmanapov. A long ball over the top, that'll be comfortable for Marwan. That's been at Ahli all his career. Marwan Sharif, the goalkeeper. Azminov. Azimov. It's given away again. This is Yansane, and another free kick. It was Nowak that was involved. I think Said Nuraliev just got the final touch on him. Michel Vlap, the Dutchman, once again has placed the ball. Tokotayev just getting a bit of protection in front of him. He'll shoot from this sort of distance. There is just a two-man wall. As you can see, it's a long way from the edge of the penalty area, but Vlap has scored 3 times already in 6 league games. It's his first season in Qatar. Shaping as if he was going to try and strike that. Challenge from Diallo, but the ball's out of play. Goal kick. Well, the free kick comes to nothing. It really was a dramatic win in that cup final for Andijon back in 2024. Went to extra time against Navbahor. And it was a winner in the last minute of added time from Vladimir Bubanya that lifted the trophy 3-2. And a first piece of silverware for Andijon in their history. Only founded in 1964. Gives them a chance to pit their wits against some good opposition. That's a great ball over the top. He just had to wait for that to come down. Allowed Mitrovic just to narrow the angle for Ismailov. That ball would have come down a little bit quicker. He might have had a clearer shot on goal. Ismailov. Yeah, Mitrovic just getting across. All the way through to Tokotayev. There's just 1 win in 6 coming into this for Andijon. was that win at the weekend against OKMK, and a much needed win as well. Vlap's header, but couldn't pick out Ganan. First season at Ahli for Michel Vlap, who was at FC 20 in the Netherlands last year. Played in the Europa League for them. Azimov with a throw. And back again by Ahli. Yellow. Chase on here for Gumboya. Just managed to keep that ball in play. Has gone out now, and it is a goal kick. I think he knew Dumboya, didn't bother complaining or appealing for the corner, the Frenchman. He's the youngest player in the starting 11, only 18 years of age, Hamidou Dumboya. Made his debut for the first 90 minutes of, or played all 90 minutes rather of the first game. So not yet to play in the league. French under-18 international. This is a good run. It's halted again. Brilliant play from Ganan coming across. Vlap, I think, saying he wanted that ball played to him, but Ganan decided to keep it at his feet. And well, he drew the free kick, but Vlap might have had a bit of space to work into here. Mitrovic. Tihi. Played inside by Hilal. Vlap doesn't mind coming deep to get the ball. He is predominantly a striker, but you can see there he's in his own half, almost playing as a midfielder behind the front three. Just starting to control possession as well, Ahli at the moment. Good ball over the top, lovely take by Yansane. Diallo. Fatui. Mitrovic. Home crowd not enjoying this at the moment with Ahli playing keep ball. Vlap. Gumboya. Mitrovic. Finally a red shirt gets a touch but sends it straight back to Dumboya. Fatui. Diallo. Should be given away in the end by Ahli. Ismail Aliev. Diallo did well, used his upper body strength to shield the ball, but it's still not been properly cleared. Abdulmanapov. Azimov. First clearance from Fatu, he just sent the ball up in the air, but Ahli managing to get the ball away from danger, and then Novak will guide it all the way back to Tokatev. That was a good spell of possession from Ahli without really causing any problems. They had the ball mainly in that middle third, didn't have too much of it in the attacking third. Still 0-0, just over 20 minutes played here in Uzbekistan. Sane, who went down, looking inquiringly at the referee. Play continues. Novak trying to bend that towards the run of Akinade, but it's too much on it. Christian Novak from Poland making, or playing for his first season rather, in Uzbekistan. Ball over the top again, chase on for Ganan, but he won't keep that one in play. Azmidinov. Azimov just losing out again. No real clear-cut scoring opportunities as yet in the opening quarter of the match. Diallo. Tihi. Hilal. It's a strong back pass. Marwan dealt with it well though. Mitrovic. Towards Fatui, but two red shirts quickly closed him down, and looking to try and get Andijon on the attack, but Fatui will break away once again. Ganan, flap through the middle. Yansane arriving as well. Diallo. Dumboya. Once again, we're back to where we were before, with Ahli playing the ball around on the halfway line. Yansane. Hilal forced all the way back to his goalkeeper. Still, these sides haven't managed a goal between them in the match in a quarter or so they've played so far. There's no foul again. Lovely ball, Yansane, nicely taken down as well. Chance to put some pressure on here. Yansane, good block. The ball just a little out of the pass, out of the reach of Akinade. Was at Terengganu in Malaysia prior to coming here. Ismail Akinade played a lot in Ireland as well. Bray Wanderers, Bohemians, St Patrick's Athletic. Tihi. Fatui. Once again, there's that ball looking for Yansane. Seems to be an outlet they're trying. Here's Vlap. shot blocked. Jansane. Overlap from Dumboya. Can't get the crossing though. Good tracking back by Ismailiev. Sednareliev for Tui. Ganan almost into the path of Jansane. Just seemed to be a little bit on his heels there, Jansane. It was a good idea from Ganan. They just needed to take a little bit off the pass. Suhaib Ganan, one of a number of players that's on loan from Al Duhail. Foul by Diallo. Just a little bit slippery out there. There's Novak's header. Azimov. Well, the home crowd have been pretty lively. Imagine what a goal would do for their spirits. The chase on here for Ismailiev. Does well to keep it in play. Dumboya did well back on defensive duty. Jansane. Igor Bishkan. 15 international appearances for Croatia. So he took over in June last year, won Coach of the Month in August and September last season. So he guided them up to 4th place in the table. Not been such a good start this year. It is very early days, of course. Dumboya. Novak's header. Away by Dumboya. Novak again. Press on here for Ganan. Esposito's there as well. It's just out of the reach of Jansane. Everything just breaking down before he gets to the final third at the moment. It's just a little bit of quality lacking. Vlap. Now Jansane. Chance to run it. Kamiljonov. Might go himself here, Jansane. Vlap. Diallo. See those red shirts making sure there's no shooting opportunity. There might be here though. Comes off the back of Temerov, the captain. Be a corner. Neither side able to find that little bit of creativity at the moment. Tihi and Mitrovic both forward for this. Flap just lurking in that little bit of space on the edge of the area, really congested in front of Tokotayev, the goalkeeper. Needs a good delivery. Whipped in under the post, punched away, but not very far. Vlap to maybe re-deliver this one. Didn't get the height on it. Headed away by Asmidanov. Diallo, the furthest man back for Ahli. Vlap. Jansane. For Tui. just two Qatar players in the Ahli side. That's Marwan, the goalkeeper, and Hilal Mohammed who's at right back. So unlimited foreigners allowed in the AFC Champions League Two. Lovely ball in, Yansane. Tokotayev kept his eye on the ball though, plucks it out of the air. Slightly better delivery that time, at least it was getting in and putting the goalkeeper under pressure from Yansane. Diallo there, I think. The referee tried to allow the play to go on, but realised there was no advantage. Mitrovic. Fatui. Can his creativity create something, the Moroccan? Diallo, Yansane looking this near touchline again. Vlap, Yansane, Vlap in behind. Oh, he maybe hit it with his wrong foot. It ended up, not too sure whether you're trying a shot her across, but it almost ended up being a good cross towards Eric Exposito. He spotted a foul. Gannon with a point to make as well. And it was cleared away by the captain, but Temirov, but the referee had already blown the whistle. Yansane's seen a lot of the ball in this first half out on this near side. Novak. That's Midanov, who realised he was under a bit of pressure then. Novak with a second header. There's Dumboya. Vlap. Given away cheaply again by Ahli. Temirov. A big appeal for handball, which has not been given. Ismoiliev, who's switched sides with Abdulmanapov for the time being. This is a good run by Asmidanov. Managed to stay on his feet, rode a couple of challenges. Ball's gone out of play though. First corner of the game for the home team. Volume levels raised in the hope that their side can try and get something from this. Some good height in this side. Novak's forward. So they're quite a big physical side, Andijon. Marwan furiously pointing. Corner's been taken short. Now the angle slightly better for the in-swinging cross. Fatui's header. Akinade. A good block, Dumboya. Be another corner. They're trying to keep the pressure on here, Andijon. Boyer stuck to his job well there. Managed to get the block in. Second corner in quick succession. Temirov, the captain, will take it. It's another corner. He does fire them in, Temerov. He's going to trot all the way across to the other side and try his luck again. Willing the ball into the net here, the home supporters. Can they get themselves in front before half-time? Floated in again, but once more Ahli get the ball clear. It's going to be comfortable for Marwan, who doesn't need to pick it up straight away, because the goalkeepers do have to adhere to the 8-second rule these days if they have the ball in their hands. Good to see that being implemented as well, one of the new rules that was brought in the summer for the new season. Here's Dumboya. Good ball over the top, chase on for Vlap. And it was Exposito actually that was trying to get him round behind, as Midanov coming across. Indeed it was Eric Exposito, the Spaniard. Midanov did well. Goalkeeper, I think, called for that, but as Midanov, probably like all good defenders should do, taking no chances and deciding to concede the corner. Michel Vlap to take this one. Ganan and Azimov, two players being spoken to. Now Vlap will swing over the corner, in swinger again. Has Midanov with a header away, and then with a stab away as well. He nods it back to Diallo, who was the furthest man back for Ahli. It's a poor ball though. It's possession back to the home team. Azimov. Well, good ball in. Akinade didn't make a contact on it. And nobody following up in the middle. And eventually the ball's cleared away. Ismail Aliyev was there. Mitrovic with the saving clearance. Akinade didn't get a clean header on that ball. Aliyev put it back across the box, but no one in red was closing in on it. Mitrovic with the clearance. Kazmidjanov with the throw. Pressure at the end of the first half from Andijon. Mitrovic away again. Eric Exposito. That's a poor ball, too much pace on it for Vlap. But clumsily given away by the captain Temerov. Now for Tui, looking for Ganan. Comfortably nodded back to the goalkeeper by Azimov. Well, again, just starting to liven up a little bit in terms of the pace of play. It's about time. It's been a little bit pedestrian at times, particularly when Ahli have had possession. Maybe just looking to control things and just grind Andijon down. Nowak. Kamijonov. Dumboya's header. Diallo. Moved forward again by Toyrov. Vlap just held off the attentions of Kamijonov. Diallo. Yansane. Flap alongside him. Ganan through the middle. Exposito through the middle. Ganan out on the right-hand side. Long ball again, looking for Akinade. Tihi's header for Tui. Got up high, headed it back towards his own goal, but Mitrovic was there. And he'll stride forward here. This is a really powerful run. Yansane, can he get the ball across? Yes, he can get the ball across. Tokotayev dropped it. Booked away by Azimov before Eric Exposito could get near it. Great run that from Mitrovic, really positive from the centre-back. Yansane knew he had to get that one across first time. Good football from Ahli. Another ball whipped in again, brilliantly done. Oh, no real power from Yansane, what a chance. He seemed he only had to guide that one into the corner past Tokotayev, but he just didn't have the pace on it. Almost cushioned it back to the goalkeeper. That's probably Ahli's best chance of this first half. Akinade's down injured. Here it is again. Brilliant ball whipped in by Ganan. When he's hit it into the ground, completely mishit Yansane and knows he should have done better. A lot better. Hasn't scored in the league yet this season. Promising though, Ahli. They could get Ganan on the ball to whip more balls in like that. They could be a good supply line for them. Hilal. Tihi. Mitrovic. Thinking about going on another of those surging runs. Vlap. Good press from Abdulmanapov. Marwan under a little bit of pressure. Diallo for Tui. Oh, they've done that well. They've not done that well though. Now there's a chance. Hit first time. Good save. Abdulmanapov hit it first time. Marwan was at full strength. It was an error by Fatui to give the ball away, and Andijon almost capitalised. Good save, Marwan. You just wonder whether it might be a little error from someone that gifts a goal in this game. It's been very tight in the first half. Here's Vlap. Diallo. Dumboya. Vlap. Heard a call from behind him. Ganan has switched sides. There was the slip from Fatui, and that first time shot from Abdulmanapov really had Marwan at full stretch. Vlap. Just a question of how much the officials are going to add on at the end of this first half. It's been a strange first half, really. It's been played at a fairly pedestrian pace at times, but there have been odd occasions when it's just exploded into life a bit. We had a chance from Yansane, just a minute to be added. Yansane having the best chance really for Ahli, and that shot a moment or so ago from Abdulmanapov, forcing Marwan into the save. It was a similar ball from Ganan, actually. I think he was looking for the same run from Yansane, who was nowhere to be seen. Still, these sides can't muster a goal. Sednareliev can't bring the ball under control. Exposito takes the throw in quickly to Vlap before those red shirts have had a chance to come back, and Vlap is unceremoniously bundled to the by by it was Temirov, the captain, who's hauled him over. That was Toiro, actually. Just caught the ankle, but he'll be okay, Vlap. FC Twente reached the intermediate stage of the Europa League last season before losing out to Bodo Glimt, who are playing in their first UEFA Champions League campaign this season. Norwegians. Fatui with a free kick, should be the last action of the first half. Whipped in just away from Vlap. Well, it won't be time for Andijon to break here because the referee's whistle blows to bring the first half to a close. Well, as we said, it kind of didn't really get going for a while. There were a couple of moments, a brilliant run from Mitrovic, which really electrified things. That shot from Abdurmanapov just before half-time, forcing the goalkeeper into a save. There's a foot up there on Kadmionov, which is what's left him down in the box. Mitrovic just limping as well. That could be something they have to deal with at half-time. Everybody explaining what's gone wrong in that first half and why neither of these sides has managed to find a goal yet in a game and a half in the AFC Champions League Two. Can we get the deadlock broken in the second half? Half-time, it's PFC Andijon 0, Ahli Sports Club 0. Still no goals for either of these sides in the AFC Champions League Two this season. Halfway through matchday 2 here at the Bubble Arena. PFC Andijon 0, Ahli Sports Club from Qatar 0. A couple of half chances really in that first half, the best of them falling to. Certainly Ahli's best chance fell to Sekou Yansane. Good to see that Matej Mitrovic coming out for the second half. He was limping off at half-time, but they've managed to work on him during the interval. Vlap worked hard in that first half to try and create opportunities. Abdulmanapov there had the best chance for Andijon in that first half, a shot that was saved by Marwan at full stretch rather. But no real clear-cut opportunities for either side. Just confirm in a moment whether there are any substitutions at half-time. It doesn't look that way at the moment. Is from Australia, Daniel Elder. And we're underway. Andijon all in red, kicking from right to left in the second half. Straight away they've won a corner, sliced away by Dumboya. So they finished with a run of corners at the end of the first half. Andijon couldn't make anything of them. Can they do here at the start of the second half? An early chance to get Novak and Asmidinov forward. Will be Temirov, the captain, as it was in the first half, taking the corners. Outswinger this time. The header from Novak is just too high. The player went down on the edge of the area. I think the referee gave the free kick. Just wrestled to the ground. When it came to nothing, Novak's header was just too high. Hasn't scored yet for Andijon. 7 league games this season. Played in the opening Champions League game as well. Vlap. Long way from goal. Took a slight deflection, I think, on its way through. Bounces up for Tokotayev. He's made a good start to the season. Mitchell Vlap scored 2 in the 5-3 win over Al Wakra and scored in the 2-1 win over Al Shahania at the weekend. Gannon was also on the score sheet in that one in a 2-1 win. I've got a Qatar Stars Cup game to come at the weekend. Break from league action for Al Ahli. They play Al Wab. Lost out 4-1 to Lusail earlier on in the competition. Here's Gannon. Fatui. Vlap. Mitrovic went on a really good surging run in that first half. Mitrovic. Diallo. Game between FK Arkadag and Al Chaldea. Does take place a little bit later on in the evening because of the time differences between the various countries. That's Fatui with a shot which has taken a deflection, it's gone for a corner. Maxim Shatsky, the Andijon coach. Spent the majority of his playing career, Maxim Shatsky, in Kiev. Igor Bishkan, we've already said, played 5 years in England in the Premier League with Liverpool. Played for Panathinaikos as well during his career, finished his career off at Dinamo Zagreb. He's native Croatia. Waiting patiently to take the corner as it deflected away. They just needed a bit of treatment. 6 players inside the 6-yard box in white. It's pretty congested in there. Looks like Andijon will have to defend with 10 men. Just for a moment. Koirov, the man that's come off. That's a lovely ball to Fatui. Couldn't bring it under control well enough though. Foot up from Mitrovic. And the shot lacking pace. Appeals from the home team for a free kick. They felt the foot was high from Mitrovic. Eric Esposito with a shot that lacked power. Really should have done it a little bit better from there to test Tokotayev. Ball in again from Fatui. I thought he was coming back from, in fact he was offside. You see the flag go up, didn't see it initially, but yeah, Mitrovic, the foot was high as well I think, but would have come to nothing. By Ganan. First time away by Tokotayev, who couldn't afford any slip-ups with that one. He was being closed down quickly. Free kick given away by captain Temerov. Diallo. Were founded, so back in the mid-1960s, Andijon, they started under the name Spartak before changing the name to Andijanes. Back to Andijon in 1997. Sponsorship when they changed their name again, but they've established their own identity now in Uzbekistan. Wasteful ball from Hilal. Ahli were also founded under a different name, Al Najjar, before merging with Ahli Sports Club to become the entity that they are today. Last time they were in continental competition, they played in the Asian Cup twice, back in the old days, back in the late 1990s. Not played in this competition in the modern era. And there's Mitrovic. Foul by Akinade. Abdumanapov. By Kamajonov. Good play by Diallo to win it back. Eric Exposito. It's overhit, looking for Gannon. Straight through to Tokotayev. Then back to that really lacking bit of quality in the final third with the final ball for both teams, really. Asimov coming forward. Akinade coming short and then dropping off now. That's a good-looking ball in. Oh, it's just gone wide. Really good chance. Best chance of the game. It fell to Sednoreliev. One of the better balls we've seen into the box. Just took a deflection. It may have been Mitrovic who got his head to it. Morwen was scrambling. Just wide, so close to an opening goal. Over comes the corner. There'll be another corner. Bit of pressure here for Ahli to soak up at the start of the second half. Can't fault the support from the home fans. It's been pretty deafening all night from them, really. So the stadium holds around 18,500. Around 10,000, something like that in the stadium tonight. Maybe a little bit less, but they're making plenty of noise. Here comes the corner. To nothing once again. Kamijonov. Asmidinov. Asimov. Abdumanapov, and he's had the best chance so far. Well, apart from the header a moment or so ago. That's too far though. Too much on it from Abdumanapov. Picked up a yellow card in the first half, Doniya Abdumanapov. Another player who joined at the start of the season from Paktakor, from Maxim Shaksky's old club. Well, he's one of the key men for Ahli, Julian Draxler, the German international. Bit surprised to find himself on the bench tonight. He's started every game so far. World Cup winner with Germany. Will we see him coming on soon? It's about that sort of time we would expect to start seeing substitutions, around the hour mark maybe. Just both coaches looking to try and freshen things up. Vlap. Jansane, haven't seen too much of him running at defenders in the second half. Vlap. Spinning away from his man to create room for the cross. It's a good cross as well. Almost finds its target for Tui. Jansane. Stopping inside, trying to go between two defenders. Just lost control of the ball. Sednoreliev clears to the halfway line. Dumboya can't keep the ball in play. They were appealing for offside there, I think, when that ball initially came in. Gannon back on defensive duty. Forward by Asimov. Good play again. Gannon nipping in and playing the ball up towards Eric Exposito. will give chase, but you need to be a bit quicker than that to manage to keep that ball in play. Next match day for the AFC competitions is in 3 weeks' time. Andijon will be at home again to Al Khaldia from Bahrain. Eric Exposito on the chase once again. That's coolly done by Asmidinov, going back across his own goal. Home game as well for Al Ahli in the next round against FK Arkadag from Turkmenistan. Here's Diallo. Hour gone, and still these sides can't find a goal between them. Dumboya. Here's Mitrovic. Tihi. Here goes Mitrovic again. So had that one really good run in the first half when he managed to pick out Jansane, whose first time cross was almost turned in by a player in the middle. Here's Jansane again. Dumboya outside him, bit of pace on that, looking for Vlab, away by Novak. For Tui. Diallo. Michel Vlab. For Tui. Does he have quality? He doesn't, is the answer. Straight through to Tokotayev in goal. Manapov just trying to slip that one through to Akinade. Nearly succeeded as well. For two, he's covering plenty of ground tonight. That's a poor ball, though, putting his fullback Halal under pressure. Did well just to play that one away because Akinade was right behind him. Zazimov with a throw. Here is Zazimov. And brought down by Fatui. Yeah, it's a free kick, no more than that. Wagging the finger for Tui, but he's clearly caught Azimov just there. Can't really have too many complaints about the free kick, but as I say, no more than that from the Australian referee. It gives Temirov the chance to play the ball in again with a bit of pace on it. This is one of those awkward ones when it could whip in towards the goalkeeper. It is quite a way out, though. That's the only problem. The players, as you see, are right on the edge of the penalty area. There is that whip on the ball. Goalkeeper Marwan kept his eyes on it. Dumboya. Jansane wins the corner. Ball going out off Toyrov. Kamidyanov is down injured here. He's been at the club a while, Sekou Jansane, the Frenchman, joined from Al Rayyan in 2022, but that is the end of his evening's work. Julian Draxler is coming on, a World Cup winner, very decorated player, 4 French league titles, 4 French Cups. He's been at the club exactly 2 years now, having signed from Paris Saint-Germain. Got married in June as well to his long-time girlfriend, so good times for Julian Draxler, the 32-year-old. Straight away he'll get an early touch here from the short corner. Here is Draxler. Shot was blocked. He's played in all 6 league games, featured in the first Champions League match as well. He's their most creative player, and they need some of his experience and creativity going forward. Does normally occupy a position out wide on the left-hand side. Just see he's out there now, so it means that Diallo maybe will tuck inside, we'll see. Mitrovic, here's Diallo. Looks like they might have pushed Domboya forward, actually. Good play, Hilal. Gannon spins away from his man, Azimov. Eric Exposito plays with the outside of the boot, trying to just bend that round the defenders as the 2 number 8s go shoulder to shoulder, but as Midanov with a fairly simple job just to shepherd that behind. Tussle going on. It's Domboya, the man that's been penalised. Looking for Julian Draxler, doesn't quite reach him though. Top 2 teams in each group go through to the round of 16. 8 teams from the east, 8 from the west. The way this group's shaping up, it could be a tight group. Say 0-0 both sides their first matches, 0-0 here still as we approach the halfway point of the second half. Turn by Gannon. Almost reached Julian Draxler. Ismail Aliyev sliding in. You could be sure they won't give the German any space or any time on the ball out wide. They'll know that he's the big danger man now for Ahli in the time that remains. Diallo. Domboya. Diallo looks long again. Almost got that right. Gannon was the man trying to get him behind. Comes off Draxler. No pressure on Mitrovic. So they haven't really tested Marwan in the second half. Andijon really need a little bit more in the final third. I just wonder whether the coach might think about making changes. He's got a couple of forwards on the bench, Abdullayev and Usmanov. Fatui. Ganan weaving his way into the box, still going, Ganan. There's a collision with the captain, Temerov, and straight away the referee telling Ganan to get back to his feet, that it's not a penalty. But it's one of those mazy runs where you think any contact will bring him down. And he's just run into Temerov, really, who just held his hands up straight away, just there, just pulled out of the challenge, and Ganan ran into him. That's a good run, though. Didn't start the first game, came on with 16 minutes to go against Al Khaldia. Haven't been free scoring this season, really, Andy, and they've only scored 28 goals in their 22 league matches. They need a goal here. Just need to get off and running in this competition, as do Al Ahli, to be fair. First timers. Fatui. Draxler. Flap goes on ahead of him. Diallo. Dumboya. Draxler spins away from his man. Vlap. Draxler, lovely ball. Oh, what a chance for Eric Exposito, but he couldn't keep it down. Well, it's Halal, in fact, who got the furthest forward. The fullback right in front of goal. I was a bit surprised to see him. Now, that's why I thought it was Eric Exposito, but, well, that's what that man can do. Julian Draxler. Look at the run from Halal. He was onside and got right underneath it. Just a little bit too much pace on it, maybe. Did score 10 goals during his time at Al Khor, but he took him 172 games. Bilal Mohammed. Foul on Diallo. The game really has been crying out for a little bit of quality like that into the box. Here's Draxler again. Drops the shoulder, gets to the byline, feigns to cross. Still got possession. Still got possession, but has gone out of play in the end. Levels have just been cranked up a notch by the home team as well. There's ultras over on the far side. Let's go back to Marwan. Diallo. It's a familiar sight and a familiar pattern really for Al Ahli, picking the ball up with Diallo midway inside their own half and then looking to try and build from there. Fatui back to Tihi. Eric Exposito. Diallo. It's like just hugging that touchline. Here he goes again. Another good ball whipped in. Header away by Novak that time. Fatui. Ganan. Challenged by Temerov. Ganan. Nice little ball slipped in by Fatui. Ganan tried to play it back to him, but Akinade was back helping out. Heavy touch. Hilal almost got a touch. It will go through for Tihi, who has the option to pass it back, but he's under no pressure. Nicely taken again by Galan. Good challenge, Akinade. For Tui. Draxler. For Tui. Pace of the game has just been slowed down again. It's just been little pockets where it's picked up pace. Draxler again, that's a very straight ball this time. Difficult one for Exposito to try and get his foot on the ball, but again, that ball over the top of the defence in behind is a trademark of Julian Draxler across his career. Maybe that's the best chance Ahli have got of getting a goal in the 14 or so minutes that remain tonight. Don't remember either goalkeeper really making a save in the second half. Will we see more changes? I'm sure we will. That's right on cue. We are going to see a change. Andijon making that change, and Abdulmanapov, who was booked in the first half, is coming off. He's been hurried on his way by the referee. It is Otabek Jurakuziev that's coming on. Came on with 7 minutes to go against Arkadag in the opening day. It's a double change, in fact. Dumananov has come on as well. Is Vlap. Exposito in the middle, but it doesn't reach him. Taking a deflection behind for another corner. It was Abdulmananov, by the way, that came on, not Jurakuziev. Vlap. Headed back by Eric Exposito. Brilliant save by Tokotayev to deny Ganan. Point blank from the goalkeeper. That's the best save of the night so far. Ganan must have almost been turning away to celebrate there. It was a lovely ball in by Vlap. Great header back across goal by Exposito, I think. Here's for Tui. Ganan couldn't find a way past the goalkeeper. Brilliant save. Hilal. Mitrovic. First time ball, Dumboya. Was that a handball? Well, it was only a half appeal really from Dumboya, who was quickly back on his feet to chase things back. Mitrovic with a foot in. Hilal for Tui. That chance a moment or so ago just seems to have put a spring back in the step of Ahli. Draxler taking on Kamidyanov for Tui. Wide again by Dumboya. Cross dugout again, Tokayev. Tokayev spills it and manages to gather at the second attempt. Well, having made a brilliant save, he's almost made a real error there, the goalkeeper. Gathered at the second attempt. Vlap was too far away, so was Eric Exposito. Good ball. Ismailiev. Early ball in, just misses out everybody. Abdulmananov, first touch for the substitute. Gets to the byline. Hilal stuck to his job though to concede the corner. Well, the game is just starting to liven up now as we approach the final 10 minutes. Both sides will want to win. They won't want to go into match day 3 with 2 0-0 draws behind them. Ismailiev poised and ready. Will be Abdulmananov, the substitute, with the corner. In it comes, straight into Marwan though, who was looking to try and release that quickly. So he must have been pretty close to the 8 seconds there. Here's Vlap. Good pressure, Ismailiev, just keeping him almost pegged back in his own half. Managed to find Domboya. Tihi, now for Tui. Hilal. Diallo. For Tui again, Hilal outside him. Draxler's gone through the middle. You can see him just being marshalled there by Temirov, the Andijon captain. Here is Draxler for Tui. Hilal. Away by Abdulmananov, only as far as for Tui. Eric Exposito. Is that way for Domboya, who will have to deliver first time to keep it in play. Comes off Kamijonov. Giving straight back to those white shirts though, who are getting plenty of bodies forward now. Vlap. Again spins away. Eric Exposito can't get the room for the shot though, quickly closed down by 2 red shirts. Vlap, Julian Draxler. Still they can't get the shot in. Eric Exposito. Ganan. Ball's in behind everybody. There's Azimov's header. Chase on here for Abdulmananov. Diallo was quickly across though. Well, you feel a goal now could well be the winning goal. Look at that, 70% possession for Ahli. Really have dominated at times, controlled the game, the pace of the game. They've played it at their own speed, which has suited the way that they played in this match. And they still haven't managed to find a goal for all that possession. Tihi for Tui. Diallo. Those red shirts back behind the ball are making life very difficult now to try and create any spaces. It's all in front at the moment. Tihi. I've seen Julian Draxler play a couple of really good balls over the top, but can't find him at the moment. He's been marked out of the game. Away by Abdulmananov. Preparing to make another change here. Andijon, you can see Ismail Aliyev was the furthest man forward there, but really fighting a losing battle on his own. Here's Fatui. Now Diallo. Draxler, who's moved back out to his wide position again, having tried his luck through the middle. Gumboya. Draxler. Vlap. Ganan. Can he get some quality on the cross? Tries the shot himself, headed away by Novak from in front of his goalkeeper. Diallo. Fatui. Little touch from Draxler once again. Fatui did well to win that ball back, just sharper to that second ball. Gets the shot in, takes a deflection off the back of one of those red shirts and goes for another Al-Hilal corner. Al-Haqi corner, rather. There was that save, seems a few moments ago now, from Ganan. What a save it was for Tokotayev. It was Eric Exposito that headed back across. That's a brilliant one-handed save by the goalkeeper. There was the appeal for handball. Hit the chest. I think the goalkeeper, the referee has a clear view of that, with Ismail Aliyev sliding in. 4 minutes to go. Changes about to be made. Ahli are bringing on Ahmed Rayed. Another player that's also played for Al-Khor. He's going off replacing the man that's on loan from Al-Khor. Hello, Mohammed. Change too for Andijon with Abdul Rahman Abdullayev coming on. Only 19 years of age, made his debut in the 260 or 6-2 defeat to Paktakor back in August. Not the best way to make your debut. Temirov will need to hand the captain's armband over to someone. Referee just urging him to be on his way. He's put in a good shift, Temirov, the captain. He's had to mark Julian Draxler for quite a while. Change is made. That's the second change for Andijon. Got a corner here which will be taken by Fatui. Right to the back once again. Kanade got it away from in front of goal. Fatui with another chance to cross. A little bit of pressure coming from Al-Ahli in the final minutes of the game now. Good defending again though by Andijon, who just kept things intact so far. That was Toyrov controlling things at the back. Here's Diallo. Mitrovic. Draxler. Vlap. Now Diallo. Fatui. Vlap. Fatui. Chipped in again, headed back into play. A little flick away by Azimov. Throw into Al-Ahli, who are continuing to dominate possession. They've had the best chance of the second half, that Ganan header, which was brilliantly saved by Tokotayev. Draxler. Has he got one more trick up his sleeve, I wonder? Rayed. Fatui. Draxler. Rayed. Little back heel again for Fatui. Might Might try his luck from distance and does, but straight down the throat of Tokotayev. Regulation save for two. He thought he got the angles right on that one, but Ersan Tokotayev, the Kyrgyzstan goalkeeper, had his angles even better. Into the final minute then of the 90. That will be a huge amount of added time. Eric Exposito trying to turn away, but three players around him. They've had a little tug of his shirt though, so has got a free kick. It's been taken quickly. Riyad. Eric Exposito. Julian Draxler. Eric Exposito. A bad effort, just a little bit too high from the Spaniard. Another change. Double change. Nikadirov is coming on, and Yorkumboyev is coming on as well. Has gone off, and Sadnaruliev has gone off. So we're into 4 minutes added time. We've already played a minute of that. Chase on here for Abdulmananov, who wins the corner, put away by Tihi. All of a sudden the crowd raised their volume levels. They've been a little bit quiet over the last few minutes, with Ahli almost camped in the Andijon half. Now they can get on the job of trying to will that ball into the net. Abdulmananov with the corner. Whipped in again. Almost crept inside that far post. Marwan at full stretch went for the Olympic goal there. Abdulmananov, and wasn't too far away with it. Maxim Shaksky looks on. Great whip on this. And almost sort of reaction of Novak in front of goal. Tihi. Mitrovic. Draxler. Tihi. Ganan. Almost finds its way through to Vlap. Novak with a header away. Draxler. And Diallo. Over the top for Vlap, but it's a poor touch, can't bring it under control, and goes out for a goal kick. But unless there's something dramatic here, it looks as though it's going to be another 0-0 for both these sides. Late change, Diallo coming off. Khalid Mohammed, another player that's on loan from Al Dahail, comes on. One short of 100 games for Al Dahail. I haven't found the net, but both sides look as if they're going to head into matchday 3 unbeaten. So the other two teams play a little later, Arkadag and Al-Khaldia. For either of those would put them on top of the group. One last chance maybe. Fetui. It's almost given away, won back by Ahli. Draxler, first time ball down the line for Mohammed. To be quick, he played over 4 minutes. Draxler, lovely ball in behind. Dumboya needs some quality, doesn't find the quality. Good block from Kamijonov. It's only gone for a throw. He might need a bit of treatment. Well, there is no more time. Daniel Elder's whistle brings proceedings to a close, and for the second match day running, both these sides have to settle for a 0-0, but Tokotayev was the hero really for the home side, saving that point-blank header from Ganan in the second half. Both sides worked hard. Maxim Shatsky and Igor Biscan, two players with great careers behind them. Neither side have managed to find a goal yet in their opening two matches in this AFC Champions League Two campaign. The home side can say, well, they are unbeaten, as are Ahli, but work to do if they're to try and progress to the next stage. Full time here, PFC Andijon 0, Ahli Sports Club 0 in the AFC Champions League 2 match day 2.